It's true that some things change as we get older. But if you're a woman over 40 and you're dealing with insomnia, brain fog, moodiness, and weight gain, you don't have to accept it as just another part of aging. And with MIDI Health, you can get help and stop pushing through it alone. The experts at MIDI understand that all these symptoms can be connected to the hormonal changes that happen around menopause, and MIDI can help you feel more like yourself again. Many healthcare providers aren't trained to treat or even recognize menopause symptoms. MIDI clinicians are menopause experts. They're dedicated to providing safe, effective, FDA-approved solutions for dozens of hormonal symptoms, not just hot flashes. Most importantly, they're covered by insurance. 91% of MIDI patients get relief from symptoms within just 2 months. You deserve to feel great. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.
Hello to everybody who's realized that apparently on the New Year's episodes you can call as many times as you want. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, 1 phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Chris here, and just wanted to say, in a very heartfelt way, once again, thanks to everybody who's been making this really big community push to get people signing up over at beautifulanonymous.com. Means the world to me. It really is just a bunch of people over at the Facebook group started raising red flags and going, hey, everybody, the extra stuff that's coming out over there is really good. And if we can get to 2,000 signups, Chris has mentioned it's a big financial benefit to his family. That's very true. We're now at 1,145 signups as we tape this. There's been hundreds in the past few weeks. Can't thank you all enough. Super cool of you. Remember, you get all your episodes ad-free. You get extra time with the callers each week. And if you're up at that upper tier, you also get follow-up calls with past callers. You get a secret number once a month just for people at your tier. And of course, most importantly, that is where you get updates on my dog ownership journey, which seems to have legitimately triggered hundreds of signups. And honestly, I'm a little mad about it. Also wanted to let you know, we are doing something smart finally with Beautiful Anonymous. We're trying to spread out a little bit on social media, maybe attract some new people. We're starting a TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you can now follow us at beautiful.anonymous. If you follow us over there, there's going to be best of clips, a bunch of sort of 3 to 7 minute long stories from throughout the history of the show, trying to see if we can get some people over there to join. So if you're on TikTok, join over there, beautiful.anonymous. And don't worry, everybody, I am not doing that myself. We have hired a young person, my friend Devin Hall, who's a great comedian out of Jersey, who also happens to be young, is handling our social media. Don't worry, everybody. I'm not trying to figure out TikTok on my own. Anyway, thanks to everybody who signed up at beautifulanonymous.com. Thanks to everybody who wants to check out this new TikTok. Thanks to everybody who supports the show. Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here, and it's an annual tradition. We've done it a number of times now where as we head from one year to the next, we do an episode where you call up, you get a brief burst of time to let us know what you're thinking about next year and what your goals are for it. And it's become a really lovely tradition. This year is no different. You will hear things as varied as people who are just kind of calling up and doing bits on the phone to other people who are calling up and explaining how they're trying to keep an eye on family members in war-torn areas of the globe when it's hard to communicate with them right now and get in touch with them. So the range of humanity on display is, as always, surprising and overwhelming. It makes me feel connected to so many people, as this show always does. A huge, huge thanks to everyone who has called this year, everyone who has supported this show this year, everybody who has signed up at beautifulanonymous.com and rallied around all the extra stuff that we're making back there behind the paywall. Huge thanks to you. I think that is the future of how the show will survive. Just an incredible amount of thanks, especially as we finish our first full year as an independent show. Massive thanks to everybody who allows this thing to happen. It's extraordinarily special to me, and I feel continuously lucky that I stumbled into this project. We're about to enter year 9. I can't wait to keep putting out episodes that are as good as ever. And 2025, I feel like we need to put our foot on the gas, because when we hit 2026 and we hit our 10-year anniversary as a show, I want this show to feel as good as it's ever been. And I want the community to feel like it's as thriving as it's ever been. And I want us to think of all the ways that Beautiful Anonymous can exist in more forward-thinking, progressive thought ways, especially being independent. The world is our oyster, and we can take it in so many directions. I'm so excited about what the future holds for the show, especially in a year where no one's quite sure what's about to happen societally, culturally, politically. Things feel, I mean, people are getting killed in the streets right now. Political changes are massive. I feel so lucky to be connected to humanity through this thing. And what a great year. And I have such high hopes for the next year and beyond. Enjoy our New Year's Eve spectacular.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here. And what a year at Beautiful Anonymous. We are rounding out, I think, Andrea, is this our first, are we closing out our first year as an independent show, free of any network? We are in over our heads in so many ways, but also really loving it, feeling a lot of freedom, feeling a lot of looseness with the calls, also feeling the support from the community. There's been a big uptick of people signing up at beautifulanonymous.com in a way that's really actually touching and sweet, because a lot of people in the Facebook group have started rallying and saying they are buying each other gift subscriptions for Christmas with strangers, which is so nice. And it gives me hope that this show will be able to survive for many years as an independent entity in a world where that's getting more and more difficult to do. Point being, it's been a strange year for this show and a very good year in many ways, but also a head-spinning year. And I think a lot of people will think back on 2024 in a similar way. And I'm always excited to hear from people for their New Year's resolutions. We do this as an annual tradition. For anybody joining us for the first time, you can go back. There's got to be at least 5 or 6 years worth of these, maybe more. And a lot of times what will happen is former callers will get through and they get their 2 minutes on the line. Sometimes you'll hear people, and then throughout the year we'll get calls and people will say, oh, we actually talked for 2 minutes on the New Year's episode. So it kind of launches a bunch of people into the conversations. And it's a lovely annual touching of base with the community as a whole. And I'm always excited to do it. And I'm always excited to see how many calls come in. So Andrea, why don't we go ahead and start patching people through, see who's on the line. Our first caller, who will get 2 minutes and then a very strict and prompt hang up as per my instructions to Andrea. Who's our first person here this year on our 2024 into 2025 New Year's resolutions episode? Hello.
Oh, hi. Well, that's exciting. So my 2025, one of my big resolutions is that I am an aerialist student. So I do pole dancing and aerial hoop mainly. And my goal is to perform in my studio's showcase.
That's awesome. Do you know my wife is an aerialist?
No, I didn't.
My wife was
What did she do?
She was in the shows De La Guarda and Fuerza Bruta, which are some pretty notable aerial shows in New York City by an Argentinian company that my understanding is they're very influential in the world of aerials.
Well, I will have to look more into that. That's very cool. I have started to make some moves towards this goal, but the big one is I am not a performer, or I don't do things in front of other people generally. Like, I'm not a showy person, so I am terrified.
Now, to go from I am not a performer, like there's a lot of steps between I am not a performer and I'm terrified to I'm going to dangle from harnesses from the ceilings and do avant-garde dance piece involving me in a hula hoop. Like there's doing karaoke in there. Why are you leaping right into something that's physically dangerous and overwhelming?
Well, it's something that like no one else I know, like in my personal life outside of the studio does. And people think it's really cool and they're rooting for me. Like they want to see me do it. And then I also, like, I just want to prove it to myself that I can. Like maybe if I get over this one performance, maybe I'll I have opened out of my shell since I started going to the studio. So I'm hoping that I don't know, it's like another step.
I love it. I love it. Can't wait for that to happen. Happy New Year. What a great way to kick off, hearing from someone who's going to participate in daring physical feats. It's a hell of a way to kick off our New Year's resolution episode. Let's get to our next caller. Hello. Welcome. What's your New Year's resolution?
Hello. Less of a New Year's resolution, more of a forever promise, I guess. I just had my first daughter.
Congrats.
And thank you. We're just kind of figuring everything out. She's 3 weeks old tomorrow, but I just want to be as good for her as I can.
That's an incredible resolution. How's everybody holding up? How did the delivery go? If a partner is around, how is their emotional state? How's everybody doing?
It was pretty good. I was in the hospital for 4 days before she was born. And then as soon as everything got started, it really got started. Partner's doing okay. She's perfect, obviously.
The little one is doing good.
Yeah.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, we actually talked in April, and then I found out 2 weeks later that I was pregnant.
We talked?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Wait, you were on a full episode of the show?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And now you're playing it close to the vest.
Mm-hmm. No, I was comedy-themed butt tattoos.
I mean, I know you're
so no new tattoos to report.
I know you're a full-fledged human being, but just to be able to say, hey, in the shorthand of the show, I'm comedy-themed butt tattoos, does make me laugh. Congratulations and mazel tov to our old friend, comedy-themed butt tattoos, on bringing life into the world.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get our next caller on the line. Hello, welcome to our New Year's resolution episode. What's your New Year's resolutions? Let's go ahead and do it.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
It's good.
So I called last year, and my resolution was to not feel guilty about things I had no control over, which only lasted about a month, because then my father passed away. I live in Australia. They're in New England. And so even though I had to go home for a funeral, I also got to be there for my niece's first birthday. So for 2025, I want my resolution to be to look for the silver linings in the sad or unfortunate situations I might find myself in for the next year.
I'm very, very sorry to hear about the passing. And to see that silver lining of connecting with family is great and beautiful, but still, what a sad reason to have to find it. How long were you back in the States?
I got to be home for about a month, so it was good.
And then I have...
Yeah.
I love that. We only have a minute left, so I'm almost loath to ask, but I go, that plane ride there and that plane ride back, notoriously long, and doing all that soul searching.
It was rough.
Yeah, right? That's not where you want to grieve, trapped on a plane from Australia to America.
No, I had to take a moment in the bathroom to myself, and I'm pretty sure people heard me.
I bet.
But yeah, it was definitely a long time to be with my thoughts, I guess. And by the time I got off the plane, my mom and my sister were there, and we were just like, yep, here we are. So, yeah.
Do they still live in the States?
They're still good. Yeah, they do. They're all, I'm the only one that's not there, so.
I feel like someday you will call again, and I will hear the fascinating story of how you wound up being the only one in Australia.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun to have a chat about that because it was.
Ooh, that was a brutal cutoff, Andrea. But hey, I told you to do it. 2 minutes. We got to stay ruthless. Rules are rules. I know Andrea just typed the phrase rules is rules. It also, every one of these New Year's episodes, I say something like this where we're 3 or 4 in and I all of a sudden have the sense memory of, oh yeah, these are always so fun, but they are exhausting and hard. And it's just hitting me again. Okay, let's keep it cranking. Welcome to the show. 2 minutes on the clock. What's your New Year's resolution?
Hey, Chris. First of all, that whole music is excellent. And so I'm glad I got a chance to listen to that while I was waiting. I'm going to work on self-regulation this year. I'm going to write on my mirror what is mine and only mine to do today, and not let all of the 2025 things that feel real out of control bother me. And so every day, figure out what's mine to do.
I really love that. And I have to imagine when you're saying the 2025 things that feel out of control, this world where there's wars, where there's political upheaval, where there's all sorts of real extreme stuff happening. Is that the type of stuff you're referring to? That's like, I think that's so healthy to go, I'm going to look in the mirror every morning and go, what are the actions I can take right now that are personal and local and right in front of me?
100%. 100%. That's exactly right. So I can't solve it all and I can't get invested in it all. But what I can do is at my job and in my family and in my neighborhood, look around and see who needs something today, who needs love, kindness, generosity, and how can I give that abundantly?
Yes, I love this. I find myself committing to this and I find myself talking about this a lot, that you can only control the local right now. Especially if you're somebody whose head is spinning about the global stuff. One of the only things you can do to stay feeling connected and tethered to the world is start local. Start in literally your living room, your front yard, your neighborhood, your town. Those are the places where you can see a tangible effect. I love this one.
That's right. That's right. And I'm going to go out on the Facebook page and gift somebody a Touch Tone subscription because I have one and I'm a huge fan of this and the show, and thank you.
That's so nice. Thank you for getting the plug in. I do have to say, I really appreciate that the people who have subscribed have realized that I am a not great self-promoter and have started taking it upon themselves to promote it for me by shouting out that the extra stuff we're putting out behind the paywall is really, really good. And I really don't like pushing that hard. I really don't like being a salesperson. So the idea that so many of you have said, we have to start telling people this is good because this guy is underselling it. Thank you all so sincerely. It has held back many aspects of my career and life that I'm bad at that. So thank you for filling in the void. Let's get our next caller on the line. Welcome to the Beautiful Anonymous New Year's Eve special, 2024 into 2025. What's your New Year's resolution?
Hey, Chris. My resolution is to figure out a new job, and that may potentially mean leaving Alaska after 18 years here.
Leaving Alaska?
Yes, this is your attacked by birds Antarctic friend.
I was going to say, I wasn't sure. You were part of a stretch where we got a few calls from Alaska, which for a very sparsely populated state, I realize we have an outsized number of Alaska callers. So you were attacked by birds. I remember this one so well. We talked a lot about birds. So you're moving on. You think maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to get out for real change.
Yeah, I've been working in environmental consulting for a few years and still have a fair bit of field work, but it's very different. It's not as hands-on and not that fulfilling. And also just on the Alaska side, it's great up here, but it's so far from everything. And there's so many things we don't get to do up here. And I'm just feeling that distance more than I used to.
I have to imagine Alaska is such a unique place. compared to really any place else on Earth, that when people have spent a significant amount of time there and move elsewhere, there must be some real, there must be people who have real trouble reacclimating if they're heading back to places that are not Alaska.
Yeah, there's a slogan that Alaska doesn't, I'm not going to get the words right. It doesn't change you, but living here makes you unfit to live anywhere else. So that's fun.
That's a grim slogan. They don't put that one on the tourist board postcards.
No, it's true. So, I mean, maybe I'll figure out something that'll let me.
Andrea, a harsh, brutal 2-minute cutoff. Everybody who's waiting in the queue and listening, realize you might want to run a 2-minute timer yourself because Andrea is ruthless. And Andrea, not only was that cutoff ruthless, but Andrea typed in our group chat something so sentimental, which was that caller was the first live call Andrea produced without the great Jared O'Connell. So as the torch was getting passed to Andrea, that caller is one that Andrea has super affection for and sentimental feelings towards. Doesn't matter. The high priestess is not out here holding people's hands. The high priestess is out here with the swift cudgel of timing justice. Who's next on the line? Welcome to the Beautiful Anonymous New Year's special, 2024 into 2025.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God. Okay. So my New Year's resolution. So I'm in my late 30s. I'm living on my own for the first time because I recently got divorced from my husband of 14 years. And I'm one of those people where it's like, if there's something in my life that's like going out of control in a way that I don't like, the way that I handle that is I find something else to like focus on that I can control. So I'm planning to hike Cactus to Clouds. I don't know if do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. So it's it's a 20-mile hike that you start off in the desert and then you end at the peak of a mountain. So that's why the whole like Cactus to Clouds. So yeah, it's 20 miles. It's all elevation gain. It's like 10,000 feet elevation gain. And you have to do it all in one day. So my plan is that I'm going to focus on like training for that. And then I would be doing it in October because of the fact that it, involves top of a mountain and then also the desert. You have to go when like the weather is good in both areas, which there's just like a couple of times a year that you have a window to do that.
Gotta say, getting married in your, it sounds like early to mid 20s, getting divorced in your mid to late 30s, sounds like a very appropriate reaction to that massive life change is to do something that sounds physically fucking insane and impossible.
Yeah, it is something that is going to be very challenging, but it's like I feel that sense of like I can control when I go out and train for this. And then if I do it, then I don't know, it gives you that feeling of like accomplishment when something else has fallen apart in your life.
You're about to get cut off, so you'll have to listen to this when the episode comes out. But I wonder if you might consider, I don't know where things landed with your ex. Maybe we'll get to talk after you do the Cactus Clouds. This one's really fascinating. Please do call back and tell us how it goes. But I wonder if you might consider, if things did end poorly, maybe when you're up in the clouds, you just take a selfie and text it to your ex with the words, fuck you, and just see how that feels. Anyway, welcome to the show. It's our New Year's special, 2 minutes. Your New Year's resolution. Who am I speaking to on the line here?
Hi. Hi, Chris. Can you hear me?
I can. Hi, welcome.
Hey, I would like this year to hire a cleaner. I have a 14-month-old at home, and I grew up with pretty comfortable financially, but with a lot of like messed up feelings around money and guilt around ever hiring someone to do something that you could do yourself. And we really haven't been able to keep up with the house, with the apartment since our son was born. And we, thank God, we can afford it. We can afford to pay someone proper ethical wages to be our cleaner. And I want to actually do it so that I spend more time being a mom and less time, scrubbing toddler food off the floors, if you remember those days.
I do very well. A cackling toddler laughing at me from the high chair as I clean the food he has thrown, and I realize, oh, this is a game to him, and he's winning. I didn't love that feeling. I grew up pretty working class. I think people on the show know this. People who listen know this. And then even my dad's mom, his family were all house cleaners. So I always had very, very bad feelings about, like, I don't know if I can cross that line. And then we have on occasion since Cal's been born, I remember the exact same conversation happening where me going, I don't know exactly how I feel about this. And then you end up hiring people and putting money in the pockets of hardworking people, treating them kindly and correctly and in a way that feels kind. And then your house is cleaner and you go, oh, everybody seems happier. And it's not like I have a cleaner come in once every 10 days or something, like 4 times we've hired cleaners. It's a good thing. Feels good. And congrats on the kid.
Even every 2 weeks, 3 weeks would make a huge difference. And so, yeah, that's a nice, simple resolution.
I love that. I love that for you. Sorry I talked so much, but if you get me going about class division, we all know that it happens. Happy New Year. Okay, let's keep it popping. Another running theme in this show. We've always said, man, and it's funny because back in 2016, a show with a male host and then a very mobilized and vocal fan base of women felt very unusual. Now it's not as unusual, but I think we were a notable early example of people going, wait, this guy is like a comedian who's like an idiotic dude. And the people who seem to have really passionately followed this show seem to be very vocal, mobilized women, specifically right here, young moms, women having career changes. That was very notable back in 2016, 17, 18. I think it's still pretty cool, but I'm just remembering another running theme of every New Year's episode is, are we going to get any dudes? Are we going to get any dudes? The only podcast on earth where white male callers represent diversity, because we have so few of them, which is wild to say and pretty cool. All right, let's get it going. 2 minutes on the line. It's our New Year's special. Who am I speaking to? Hello.
Hey, Gethard, you got a white male caller here. It is a past caller, the adult baby diaper lover caller.
Hey, two-time caller.
Happy to be speaking with you again. That's right, two-time, yep. So I guess my New Year's resolution is basically follow up on 2 things that I've already been putting into action. Number 1, and more importantly, getting married this coming year in the great state of New Jersey. And number 2, continuing to get back into my community. I was at another event just the other week, and we're getting events going locally in my city twice or every 2 months. So being involved in my local King community.
I love all of this for you.
Thank you.
And I believe we talked about it in your follow-up. How far along is the wedding planning? We got a date, we got a location, we got everything. The save the date is out. Where are we at?
Yeah. Save the date just went out 2 weeks ago. So everyone's been sending us pictures of it coming in the mail and all that. So my fiance just got her dress. We're going to go look for my suit now on the break here next week after the holiday. So we're starting to be very, very real. You know, it's been planned for about a year now. We got engaged back in 2023. Now it's really starting to come together.
And are we getting married in the great state of New Jersey, which I have long said is the most romantic place on earth?
It is. It's also the most expensive place on earth, but we love that too. So
truly inexpensive.
But I'll say nobody does weddings like New Jersey, man. The amount of food that is already comes with a base package, it's ridiculous. But I will also say we are doing Taylor ham, egg, and cheeses as our to-go food for drunk people at the end of the night.
That's so rad. And you knew I was going to love that the second it came out of your mouth. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Thanks for calling and letting us know.
Happy New Year.
And that was not planned. Andrea did not say to me, hey, we got a white guy in the queue, make a white guy joke. I made the white guy joke, and then fate handed us the punchline of, hey, here it is, me, your first white guy. And I'm going to say, if you're going to be a white guy calling the show, wear diapers. Be that fascinating. Speak to a kink and a community now 3 times on the show in a way where you go, wow, this is a thing that's easy to judge, but I can't judge this caller because the caller's really telling me the psychology, the experience, the why behind it. Anyway, let's keep it going. I want to hear, I always say, right, every year again, it's coming back. I will do as many of these as come in. And then I really start to crap out at a certain point. I'm not there yet, but we'll see. Let's pause there, everybody, because we got to pause somewhere, and this is a great time. We will be back with more New Year's resolutions momentarily. In the meantime, thank you to our sponsors. A podcast for those who like to wonder at the world. Join Constant Wonder for explorations of science, art, history, and more. Constant Wonder is on a quest to find awe and wonder in all nature, human or wild, vast or small. Wonder is defined as a feeling of surprise mingled with admiration caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable. And the emerging science around awe and wonder shows that the ability to feel awe is a skill to be developed, like anything else, through practice. The more you look for it, the more you'll have it. The Constant Wonder podcast is here to help you develop a regular practice of wonder. Experiencing awe reduces stress and anxiety levels and has been shown to impact overall well-being. Those who cultivate awe and wonder have greater life satisfaction and experience greater creativity. I just want to go off book for a second and say we all know that there are times where you're looking at your phone and somebody goes, did you just see a shooting star just came by? Or, something just happened on the street and it was miraculous. You go, no, sorry, I was checking Instagram for the 75th time this afternoon. No more of that. Connect with things. Be overjoyed. Be in awe. Be in wonder. I think the philosophy of this podcast is incredible. Each episode of Constant Wonder provides an opportunity to keep learning, keep feeling, to reawaken the curiosity you had as a child, to tune into our phenomenal world, to turn a mundane day into a wondrous one, to take a peaceful respite from hectic routines, to experience the thrill of a transformative encounter with the good, the true, and the beautiful. Enjoy episodes like harnessing the power of the sun to cool the planet, sprouting a seed that survived the Roman siege, family embraces dad 2.0 after a traumatic brain injury, how to reforest the desert, a whole episode on human echolocation, dreams and the deep mysteries of the unconscious mind. Leave feeling rejuvenated, with eyes wide open to the wonder all around us and with a deeper conviction that human beings, including you, can accomplish the extraordinary. Listen to Constant Wonder wherever you get your podcasts. Everybody out here takes supplements, and if you're not, you probably should. But there's so many supplement companies. So many of them are charging ridiculous prices for products that aren't really that special. It's frustrating. Honestly, frankly, it's unacceptable. And that's why I want to let you know about Live Good, a brand that's turning the supplement industry on its head. Live Good believes that everyone deserves access to high-quality supplements without all the insane markups. They offer premium products formulated by an industry-leading team of natural health experts, and they cut out the middleman to sell them at the lowest prices anywhere. I recently started taking their plant-based protein. It's really quality. I have had other brands of this exact genre of plant-based proteins where you go, I am choking this down in the name of health. And that's really bad psychologically, right? To think I'm trying to do something physically healthy, but mentally it's a drag and it's bumming me out. No. Their stuff is very quality, not just in what it's bringing nutritionally, but in taste. And that's a super important thing too. On top of it, I think that they are a good, kind-hearted company focused on the right things, and that's a total game changer. They have organic super greens. They have multivitamins, collagen, weight loss products, protein powder, creatine, detox, hormone products, skincare products, all highest quality products at prices people can actually afford. No wonder they are the fastest growing supplement brand on the planet with over 1.5 million customers and counting. If you're ready to make the switch and start saving, make it even easier for you. Use the link from this ad. You'll save an additional 10% off your first order on top of the already lowest prices out there. Go to livegood.com/beautiful. You'll get 10% off your first order. That's livegood.com/beautiful. livegood.com/beautiful. Don't miss out on this opportunity to invest in your health without overspending. livegood.com/beautiful. I've been taking their protein powder myself. It is great. This company has very, very good goals and intentions. livegood.com/beautiful. Thanks to everybody who sponsors the show. Now let's get back to the phone call. Okay, hello. Welcome to the show.
Is this me?
Yeah, it's you.
Welcome, Chris. This is the barber from Kansas.
Oh, whoa, the barber from Kansas is calling back. Barber from Kansas, your episode, I'm sure you saw the feedback. People were charmed by you.
Oh, man, it felt really good. It was a lot of brownie points. She ended up marrying me, so everything worked out really good for that.
That's awesome.
But as far as New Year's resolutions go, I'm just going to keep killing it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, taking it day by day. Even when things go bad, just find the flicker of light and go chase it. And I hope everyone does the same. I hope everyone just keeps getting better this year.
See, I feel like that's part of why people loved you and your call so much, is for you to go, my New Year's resolution, keep killing it. There's something so
yes, sir.
simple and pure about that. And it doesn't sound like braggadocio coming from you. It just sounds like, why would I not keep killing it? Things have been working. I'm going to keep killing it.
Right. But we ended up getting engaged at your show in Colorado. Well, on our way to your show in Colorado. So you're a big part of this, big guy.
Wait, did I know that?
You did not know that.
What? On the way to the show, what, did you stop someplace scenic and pop the question?
Yeah, we stopped at the Colorado sign in between Colorado and Kansas, and I proposed there.
And then you continued on to go see me?
To go see you.
Was this the live taping at the Oriental Theater?
It was a live show in Colorado, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, congratulations. And Andrea, don't hang up right away. I want to make sure our caller answers, because you were someone that came in, crushed it on the show. Everybody loved you. When I tell you that the Facebook group, we just have a thing to make sure there's not bots, where we say, what's your favorite episode of the show? And that makes sure that it's not bots. Or a lot of people sometimes think that we are the Hacker Collective Anonymous. So it's just to make sure they're joining the right group. Very often, I would say to this day, it flies under the radar. The Kansas Barber episode comes up as a lot of people's favorite episodes when they join that group. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, accomplished. This is what we work for. This is what we put our hours in. And so just really accomplished.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
But yeah, give me a call back. We got a lot to talk about sometime.
Oh, absolute follow-up. Absolute follow-up right there. Are you in Kansas or Colorado these days? Just because Colorado came up.
Kansas.
You're still in Kansas. If I ever make it through Kansas, it would be an honor to have my hair cut by you. Got to make that happen.
Dude, I'll make you bald.
You think it's time? Andrea, we're letting this one ride
Well,
out.
I'm bald now. I shaved. I'm only 26 and I shaved all my hair off. So
now you've seen me live. My hairline is very crazy.
My hairline's very crazy. I'm at 26. I thought to myself, at 26, I need to just get ahead of this thing, because at 26 it looks crazy, but 36 it looks more normal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love that. I love hearing. How do I know when it's time? Is it time? When you saw me in person, were you like, this dude needs to shave his head? You can be honest.
It looks fine on you, because like you're a dad, it's a dad haircut. I mean, people lose their hair a little bit. It's okay at that point. What I was saying is, like, under 30, yeah, let's get rid of it.
To it. Right.
So you get into your 30s, 40s, you're fine.
But you're saying effectively, Chris, you're already married. You have a kid. You don't need to look that good. A guy who's 26 still needs to get out there. It is what you're saying in coded language. Is like, it's not like you're out there playing the field, man. So just have your charming, sloppy ass haircut.
I feel like I would get made fun of more trying to pull off the comb over and stuff in my 20s than I would at 30s. because like that's more acceptable to start losing your hair.
Just to be clear, I would not describe what I'm doing as a comb over.
Well, no, not what you're doing. But what I
Andrea,
would have to
write
do
down the number.
is
We're going to do a full follow-up with you, caller, but right now I'm offended at the phrase comb over being brought up in reference to my hair. Hang up. No, never hang up. I would never get angry at you. But can we please do a full follow-up very soon?
Yes.
I love it.
I'm down.
I love it. Keep killing it. 2025, the Kansas Barber. That
Yes,
one just
sir.
got a fist bump from the fan base. Let's keep it going. 2 minutes on the clock. Welcome to the show. What's your New Year's resolution?
Hey, are you dreading the upcoming year with all of the inevitable chaos that will ensue?
Yeah, it's scary stuff.
I have to remind myself that I can only control myself, and I can only, do my best, and what happens with the rest of the world. But for my New Year's goal, I want to be more confident in my personality and ultimately own who I am. Stop beating myself up for what I perceive to be as flaws in myself, when in reality, I know I'm a good person. I don't need to keep analyzing what I do, because I know I care about people. I know I treat people with kindness and respect. I don't need to hyperfixate so much on my behavior, as it's only causing my self-harm.
That's as real as it gets. It's super real.
Thanks.
2025, it's going to be more necessary than ever. You and I are talking mere hours after Matt Gaetz was outed as someone who apparently paid for sex with a teenager, and he was briefly considered to be the Attorney General of the United States. So there's a lot to be scared about with the chaos you mentioned. But I think saying finding your own footing, finding your own confidence, taking pride in who you are, that is a way to fight back against all that sort of lunacy.
Yep. Well, you're awesome. Thank you for all you do.
You're awesome too. Thank you so much. Thanks for the call. That's how you stick a landing, everybody. That is clearly somebody who ran a stopwatch on their own 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and get to the next caller here on our New Year's resolution special. Going into 2025, welcome to the show. What's your resolution?
Hey, is it me?
Yep, it's you.
Okay, so my resolution is to be more myself. So I am getting top surgery this year, this coming year. So that's going to be exciting. I'm getting my name changed in February, actually on Valentine's Day. So that's exciting. And I just want to be more me.
It's really, really compelling to hear it start with, I want to be more myself, which could be a very broad resolution that applies to everybody. And then to say, no, this involves surgery. This involves legal name changes. This involves actual commitment to who I am on a fundamental level. That's really powerful.
Yeah. I feel like my life is kind of has always been very like chaotic, and so it's really nice to have some things that I know are going right. I already have everything lined up for the name change. I just have to go to the hearing, and I'm not even going to be alone doing that. I already have people that do this for a living helping me out with it. And for my surgery, I'm just waiting for insurance to, say, hey, this is medically necessary. and then I get scheduled. And that should be, I think, 4 months is what they quoted me at during the first appointment. So,
congratulations on everything. It's amazing to know that if you call again at next year's show, things will be so radically different. And I hope we do get to touch base and hear about how everything goes. And congrats on everything. I hope everything goes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for calling. We got 2 minutes on the clock. New Year's resolutions, 2024 going into 2025. To whom am I speaking? Welcome. What's your resolution?
Well, Chris, you are talking to the kite heiress right now. How are you today?
Past caller, runs the kite store, making money on those Trump flags. How you doing?
Oh, yeah.
How you holding up? Business is booming these days.
Unfortunately, it is booming. It's a laugh and booming because I'm just laughing my butt off to putting some green in my pocket. That's boy, I hope this blows up in your face. Unfortunately, not saying anything, but well, so my resolution is actually, I would love to. One thing I would love to do is follow up call and just tell you how maybe next year and see how everything has been going with the Trump side of the story and see how it's been with the year going through and see what has happened and with everything falling out or doing well. Who knows? Maybe I'll have some more Elon Musk stuff in my store. Maybe it'll be Elon Musk store. But I also just we're opening up a new store, so just having resolutions, maybe taking a little bit more of a leadership, even more of a leadership role in the kite business.
I love that. Taking it by the reins, making sure these kites are flying high and that you're part of the process by which that happens in a leadership sense. It's a fantastic resolution.
Yep. Well, thank you. Yeah. So, and just have some good, put some more art in the world, more kindness in the world with the kites and whatnot. And just, because we kind of all need it right now.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling. Always great hearing from you. It's also wild to know that we have somebody there. And this is the type of thing that we need to be thinking of because polls are not accurate these days. The political pollsters are not able to accurately gauge what's going on. These people don't listen to me, man. Whenever we do the political calls, I go, this is what real people are thinking about. And this is what real people are struggling with and reacting to. And we've had now both in the 2016 and 2024 elections, Trump callers who I listened to it and I went, oh, there's psychological aspects to this that the press is not writing about. I got a kite store owner from a kite store family. We're going to know if any Democratic candidates start picking up national momentum because we will see an uptick in flags at the kite store. This is how you need to track it, not through your fancy schmancy polls. Okay, welcome to the show. 2 minutes is on the clock. Caller, welcome. What's your New Year's resolution?
Is it me?
It's you.
Oh my goodness. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very tired already, but I'm getting there. I have 1 can of seltzer. It's halfway done. It's going to get me through this whole...
Okay. All right. No fancy soda?
No, I've had to lay off the soda because my teeth are rotting out of my head and I'm constantly riddled by carbonation-caused stomach pain. Not that seltzers.
Okay. Well, that's probably a good reason.
Yeah.
My New Year's resolution... my husband and I have been talking about, this upcoming year, and I think a lot of people are thinking about what it's going to look like and how scary it could be. And I've heard other callers kind of saying the same sentiment of just being the positivity and the light and the change in your local community and being there for people, even though everything's scary, doing our very best to be there for each other. I'm a labor and delivery nurse, and it's a little scary coming up with all the changes in reproductive care, and just trying to be there for my patients and making sure that they're okay and that their babies are okay.
That's so real. That's so real.
Yeah.
Like every piece of legislation that touches on reproductive rights, I imagine it means you have to go learn the new letter of the law.
Yeah, it's scary. But just doing my best with what we have and trying to be there for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, and you're someone who's right there for people in need in moments that are really, really joyous, but also moments that are really, really hard. Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, of course. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else.
That's really beautiful. Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year. I
just got to say, I do feel like this show over the years has proven itself to be something that's sort of a time capsule of where people's thoughts are at any given moment. We are not a show that aims to be political, but I am struck by how many of our callers right now are just saying in a simple, real way, politically things feel weird. I'm not sure where they're going to land. I'm thinking real hard about it. My New Year's resolution is influenced by that. I'm not trying to lead it there. Perhaps it is something on my mind as well, but I am struck by it. Should you listen to this in the future, I think you can hear that people in 2024 heading into 2025 are nervous and curious about how things are about to go. Let's leave that as a historical marker. Okay, let's keep, oh my goodness. Now, everybody, we've been recording a little under an hour. Andrea just typed to me, I had a hard out at 12. It's not even 11 now, but my recording got canceled, so I'm good until whenever. Which I have to say, I like to ride it out as long as it wants to go. But if we're doing this past another hour and 10 minutes, that's so many. Okay. Anyway, I'm not even going to focus on that. Andrea just said the queue is still full. Now, Andrea, this is where Andrea's a good producer, everybody, though, because Andrea can tell. A lot of people would go, he's starting to maybe crumble for the first time at the commitment to this. And a lot of people might go, how can I provide him with support? Andrea knows me well enough to know, no, I will tell you that the queue is still full and the calls are still pouring in because you stressed out is funny to people. That's good producing right there, Andrea. Anyway, let's get our next call on the line. What's your New Year's resolution? Welcome to Beautiful Anonymous.
Holy crap. Am I on?
You are. Holy crap.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't think I would get on. So I am embracing turning 40 this year.
Congrats.
So that's a lot. I'm hopefully going to get off my kidney medicine.
Hey.
Cool. And I'll be able to try for our second kid. So that's a little scary in my 40s, but it's okay. My daughter's 5 already. And we are also, me and my husband are looking into the swinging lifestyle. So that will be interesting. Something to do in the new year. The swinging lifestyle. You had a caller about that long time ago.
So you're gonna have you're getting off your kidney meds, aiming to have another kid, and opening yourself up to the horizons of swinging, all in 1 year.
Well, if that happens, yes. Now, if that happens, then we will stop that lifestyle. Obviously, during that time, there's no set time on when I'll be off of it. It might not be till like the end of next year.
Have you dabbled with swinging before?
No. So it's brand new. And I met someone I used to work with when I went to a party for swinging. I was like, oh, shit. But it was cool. It was quite interesting.
So you went just to be a fly on the wall and you were like, I think I might be into this?
My husband was, of course, the one that brought it up.
Wow.
For like a whole year. When he was deployed, they have a lot of time on their hands. They're not in combat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, craziness. But yeah, I'm excited for my 40s. That's pretty much it. We'll see what happens. And it's just, 2025. Here we go.
Got to hear from you again because there's no one, and everyone listening, if you've already been on, you would agree with me. no one who I can predict less what next year's call from you is going to be than that caller. Like, yeah, the lady who's going to go on the hike from the cactus to the clouds, I'm like, that one I have a sense that could go in a handful of directions, but you get a sense of the range of it. You know, the guy who wears diapers who's getting married and handing out Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches could go in any number of directions. I have a sense of the range of it. I'm getting off my kidney meds, trying for another baby, and getting into swinging for the first time all in the same year. I have no idea. Zero idea what that could possibly turn into. And man, do I hope we get to find out. Although part of this show, we may never know. Who knows? Anyway, 2 minutes is back on the clock. Next caller up. Happy New Year's. What's your resolution?
Hello, is it me?
It's you.
Wow. Okay, cool. Every time someone comes on, they're like, is it me? I was like, oh, don't ask that. And then I was shocked. Okay. My New Year's resolution is to have a morning routine. I haven't had one since I was 12.
Yeah.
When I woke up at 6 a.m, read 2 chapters of the Christian Bible, did 60 push-ups and 60 sit-ups, and then went for a run.
Whoa, that's a real strict morning routine.
It was awesome, but I was 12, and then when I turned 13, I started sleeping in until 10 a.m., and I haven't done anything other than that.
Didn't you go to school back then?
I was homeschooled.
Oh. All the puzzle pieces, hearing that you had a very strict Bible and physical regimen in the morning and then homeschooled, those things they do go hand in hand on some level, right?
Absolutely. Those are all the pieces being put together. Because I love the spiritual aspect of that, but I'm not Christian really anymore, so I'm like missing that in my life.
So what are you anticipating this new morning routine might be?
So I'm trying not to be too regimented, but today I woke up and went for a walk in the woods and did a little bit of physical, like some stretching and stuff, and then I read some poetry. I've been really into Mary Oliver this week.
I love this. I love that we can have one caller that's like, I'm going to have a kid and get into swinging. And then the next caller is like, I think I'm just going to walk around in the woods, read some poetry. Love it.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful.
I hope that this new morning routine goes great for you. And I hope that you already, I have to say, very pleasant vibes, even within 2 minutes of talking to you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I think you also have very pleasant vibes.
Thanks so much. Very nice to each other.
I've been working on my vibes professionally.
Crushing it. I don't know exactly what you said at the end because Andrea hung up in a way that was absolutely ruthless. With that being said, I did still enjoy it. 2 minutes is back on the clock. Let's get to another caller. Welcome to the New Year's special 2024, going into 2025. It's Beautiful Anonymous. Hello, and what's your New Year's resolution?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. I'm good. It's weight loss surgery, guy.
Hey, how are you holding
I'm all healed from my skin surgery.
Good. How you
doing?
Feeling?
Great.
Yeah.
Feeling great. I have one more skin surgery in January, but then otherwise my goals for 2025 are, as my therapist keeps asking me, what's next? So I got to figure out what's next. And I think that's just going to be helping people in some capacity. I don't know what that's going to end up being, but a lot of people are nervous about the next few years. So I don't know. However, I can help people.
That's, that is great.
Get more granular with it, as you said.
Get more granular. I love that. And you felt like the skin surgery went well. You're feeling good about the results of it. You're feeling positive about the steps of this journey.
Yes, feeling very positive. Absolutely. So, part of helping people, I want to figure out how I'm going to help people with a similar journey. So we'll see. I'll let you know.
Yeah, please do. And now since we've got a few extra seconds, you and I talked about it during the call, that the feedback to your call was probably going to go in a bunch of different directions. I'm sure you saw some of it. How did you feel? How did you feel about that?
I did.
Yeah.
I felt fine. I knew there was going to be some different reactions to it, and I responded to a lot of the comments on there. So I was trying to encourage some dialogue about it, even if we disagreed. And it was good. It's fine. I was just happy to share my experience. And that's all it was my experience, right?
Yeah. It's good perspective. Good perspective out there.
Yeah.
Well, I really love it. I love to hear that the surgeries are going well, that you're feeling very positive, and that you're thinking about spreading that positivity. I think that's an incredible goal for.
Yeah. Somehow I will. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Past
All right.
callers.
Happy New Year.
Intriguing new callers. Happy New Year to you as well. Let's go ahead, get another caller on the line. Welcome to our New Year's special. What's your resolution?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I am currently in the maze of my garage. We moved 2 days ago, and I'm like trying to organize the house. So that's my goal for this new year is like, this house is a lot bigger than our old house. And so now we have to organize it and fill it. And that is daunting, but also exciting.
Congrats on making moves.
Thanks. Yeah, right now it's just like
Andrea's going,
trying to find all the things.
So familiar. Have we spoken before?
I have talked to you. Yeah, I've talked to you twice for New Year's episodes.
Look at that. Andrea was the one that was like, this is so familiar. Well, it's good. I like that you touched base. And this is now your third time on the New Year's show.
Yeah, I missed one, but it would have been 4 in a row. Missed one. Last year, my resolution was to use a journal for the whole year. Not a journal, a planner to like stay organized. And Chris, I did it. I used it every day. It's full. It's full. And so I bought another one for next year.
Did it have
so hopefully I can get 2 in a row. I felt a lot more prepared and organized and ready for things.
So this new house, what's the most exciting aspects of it? What are the amenities? What are the neighborhood features? What are the cool quirks of this house?
We get a walk to school every day. It's like a block away from my kids' school. All their friends are here. We're less than a mile away from my mom, which for a lot of people would be like, that's too close. But she could move next door and it wouldn't be close enough. We love each other very much. So we're super excited to be able to walk to each other's houses. The kids are excited to be so close to Grammy. And also the kitchen is huge. I'm so excited.
Look at that. Well, congrats on the move. And when the kid to know, first of all, congrats on the move. Second of all, thanks for touching base on so many of the New Year's specials. I love that. I also have to say, knowing that when your kids get old enough, you can just boot them out the front door and be like, walk yourself. I'm no longer involved in this every school drop-off madness. Love that for you too. Jealous of that. That's awesome. All right, we're going to keep it rolling. New Year's, beautiful anonymous. I'm getting a little mush mouth for the first time. Let's go ahead and say hello to another caller. 2 minutes is on the clock. What's your New Year's resolution?
Hey, Gethard, it's the caller from earlier. With the wedding, I'm at a CVS right now. I was just listening in.
Oh, so you weren't trying to get back on? You were just using this. No. You can just listen when the call comes out. The episode will come out on New Year's. You know this?
I was running errands and I was just buying some hand cream at a CVS and I got, picked up on here.
So you just kind of missed the call queue? You missed the experience of listening in ahead of time? So you just called back to use this effectively as like a radio station?
Exactly. Yep. Live call. Yep.
So this is technically now the fourth time that we've talked?
Fifth or sixth, actually, because I was on the Valentine's and the
that's right.
New Year's last year.
That's right. So this now marks the point where you have maybe now been on Beautiful Anonymous more than any other caller.
Maybe. Exactly.
I'm going to let the 2 minutes ride out. How you feel? How's this CVS experience going?
It's great. I was just perusing my choices here for hand lotion because it's cold as balls and where I'm at right now. So I'm trying to feel some dry hands.
So Andrea, I mean, it does cost us money to just let someone sit on the queue, right, Andrea? I do believe the system charges us. So caller, I actually think it's hilarious. And if you want to keep calling back just to listen, we will probably keep pouching you through and outing you on that. But it is costing me change, but man, do I love it. So feel free. We're going to boot you in a second. But if you want to keep playing this game.
I'm going to call right back in.
Yeah, I mean, and we will keep patching you through. It
Absolutely.
is pretty random, so we're never going to be sure if it's you. So feel free.
Maybe you'll catch me during lunch. That's good. Thanks, man.
All right. Happy New Year. Here's a new running. Who knew that we were going to develop a new bit this year? Let's go ahead and just pause it there because we got ads. That's the way of the world. So we're going to go ahead and hear them. And then we're going to come back. We're going to hear from more people from all over the globe. You know how it works. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. So excited, as always, to talk about my friends at Quince. I'm not even looking at the actual ad copy for a while because the first thing I need to tell you is that I now have 2 sweaters from Quince where every time I wear them, my wife tells me I look good. I go out and people ask me about the sweater. The confidence I get from wearing Quince, it's no joke. It's no joke. It clearly is of a quality and a fit that I sit here and I go, I'm going to wear these more often because it makes me feel good to get all this positive feedback from people. And is that lame to admit? I don't know. But what I do know is that I look good and feel good when I'm wearing Quince. When it comes to winter, by the way, it's like survival of the fittest out there, right? You're sipping hot tea all day. You're wearing slippers around the house because those hardwood floors are ice cold. It's survival of the fittest. So I think you need to do what you have to do and buy what you have to buy to make sure you stay cozy. For the ultimate cold weather necessities made from premium materials, you've got to check out Quince. With Quince, you can treat yourself to true quality at an affordable price. Something everybody needs in their closet. Quince's iconic Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They start at $50. And I'm telling you, if you're like me and you're not the most confident person, wear these sweaters. People's reactions will make you more confident. They're super soft fleece sweatpants. Major upgrade to whatever you're lounging in right now. Wind-resistant, responsible down jackets are perfect for keeping warm. No matter what you're looking for, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories and cutting out the cost of the middleman, Quince passes the savings on to you. Quince only works, by the way, with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices. I love that. One of the simple things you can do in this world to try to be activist on some level is just spend your money at places that do things the right way. And to know that there's ethical manufacturing happening here, it's a beautiful thing. They use premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel in every piece. And I've said it 3 times already. The sweaters I have from Quince, I wear every family gathering. Anytime I know someone's going to be taking pictures of me. When I go on stage now, I wear Quince more often than not. I really love them. Really, really love them. Luxuriate in coziness without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/beautiful for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/beautiful to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/beautiful. Throughout the past year, you've heard me talk a lot about a company called Delete Me. I am a huge proponent of their services. They have helped me and my family immeasurably. And I mean that so sincerely. And before I get into anything that's written down on the page, I just want to say this. Delete Me is a service that helps protect your privacy. I have found myself this very year in need of real protections on my privacy for the safety of my family. It's not a joke. And I will tell you, Delete Me gives you these recurring personalized privacy reports. And they just sent me my most recent one. I opened it up. Said that they checked hundreds and hundreds of sites. They found my personal info on 0 of the data broker sites. And that's because of the hard work that Delete Me is out there doing. So before I say anything that's written down on the page, I want to thank them. And I want to let you know that this is a service that has made me feel like my family is safer. Genuine. I would never just say that as part of an ad to say it. Super real. Thank you to Delete Me. But it's not about me right now. Okay, you've heard a lot throughout the year about how I use it and how you guys know if you've been listening to this show, your personal data is out there. It's on the internet. Name, contact info, social security number, home address, info on your family members that gets attached to you. It's all being compiled by these data brokers. It's real nasty business. They sell it online and profit off of it. I exist publicly. I share a lot of opinions online. I get personal online, and I've had to become hyper aware of safety and security. There's been a few incidents that have really scared me, and Delete Me is incredible. So incredible that I've actually gifted it to a few people in my life. One is some other friends of mine who have dealt with similar situations where they have kids, they live publicly, they are worried about it and feel like, man, this information, when you look around, my information's all out there. I said, sign up for Delete Me. I'll gift you a subscription. Another person I know who's an actress in Los Angeles who has dealt with situations, sadly enough, that are on the stalking level. And I reached out to her and said, I've picked up on the fact that you're dealing with this. We know each other well enough that I've come to understand this. I want to gift you a subscription to Delete Me. And it was a huge relief for her to feel like there's somebody out there getting her back. And I'm not referring to myself on that. I'm referring to Delete Me, to realize, oh, this service is out there to help people in this exact situation. It's incredible. I can't stress it enough. I personally use Delete Me. I recommend it. I have used other services that claim to do what Delete Me does. And when I started working with Delete Me, they came in and found, when I tell you dozens of sites that the other services had missed, that's not an exaggeration. Delete Me sets the bar very high. I will not ever have a stretch in my life again where Delete Me doesn't get my back. These data brokers are out here. They're profiting off your data. It's a commodity to them. It means anybody out there can find your details and pay money to get them. That can lead to identity theft. It can lead to phishing attempts, harassment, unwanted spam calls, some of that stuff that's happening all the time. If your phone's getting constantly blitzed, someone might just be selling your number. Now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. Sign up. You can provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want deleted. Their experts get to work from there. They send you those regular personalized privacy reports that I mentioned. It shows what they found, where they found it, what they removed. And it is not just a one-time service. As I mentioned, they stay working for you. And they constantly monitor and remove that information you don't want on the internet. When I tell you that I got my most recent report and they said, we actually didn't even find it being added back in this time, I said, this is incredible. Let out a sigh of relief. My family is safer because I use Delete Me. To put it simply, Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from these data broker websites. So take control of your data. Keep your private life private. Sign up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners and their loved ones. Today, you get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Use the promo code beautiful at checkout. The only way to get 20% off, go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Enter code beautiful at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/beautiful. The code is beautiful. Thanks again to everybody who helps make this show happen. Now, let's finish off this episode. Anyway, 2 minutes is on the clock. Our next caller, let's go ahead. Welcome to the show. What's your New Year's resolution?
Hey, so right now I'm sitting in my parents' room in Jersey, but not my parents' room, my room. I live in New York. Just thinking about life right now as I'm listening to all these other callers. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm a barista at a shitty coffee shop. I got a lot going on with my improv team, which is going pretty well. I'm a bit of a lonely boy. I'm a heart sick puppy looking for love. I don't know. And I'm right now in this room in Jersey. I'm looking at these hospital tags. Every time I've come back to Jersey the past year, it's been for, there's my grandpa who passed away, and my dad had a stroke. I'm thinking a lot about life, and I think I just need to kind of connect to people more because, I don't know, death is on the horizon. I don't know. What's up, Chris? How's it going?
It's going all right. I mean, I did just hear the phrase "death is on the horizon," so that's throwing me for a little.
Sorry, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about death. Yeah,
lonely, sad guys who do
life.
Improv and dwell on death is a little bit too much like looking into a mirror for me to feel totally comfortable.
Yeah, it's cool. I just met. I'm going to be totally random here. I just met Craig Kakowski at an improv festival last week.
Yeah.
And he told me that my team was great, and he gave me some advice, and it was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. He's always struck me as a really good dude, but I think you may be meant to call like a Will Hines podcast. I don't know. You know, this is Beautiful Anonymous, right? I'm Chris Gethard. This is not Will Hines. I think you need to be talking to my friend Will Hines right now. That's a Will Hines conversation.
I thought you did improv.
On
you
occasion,
don't do improv?
On occasion, I've been known to, but
honestly, I was a huge fan of this podcast a couple years ago. I honestly haven't listened in probably 3 or 4 years, and I just saw the number pop up on my Twitter feed. So I don't know what's going on in your life.
Welcome back to the fold. 2 minutes is up, or else I'd fill you in on everything. But thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks for so much for joining back in and getting back in on the Beautiful Anonymous sphere of things. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people out there who I feel like are like, oh, I used to listen for years. I haven't checked in a while. I got to figure out how to reactivate all those people. I got to figure out how to get all those people back in the fold. Let them know that this is still a show where on 1 week you might hear something jaw-dropping, shocking, like someone who survived a murder attempt from her own son. And then the next one could literally just be like, I smoke weed and do pottery, man. Like we still got both on lock, and I love it. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about the sad improvisers of this world having a place to dwell on death. Let's put 2 minutes back on the clock. Let's go ahead and keep talking. New Year's resolution episode. Beautiful Anonymous. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Chris. It is Hoagies, Lime, and Cats. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. This is very early for me. Oh, and it's 11/11, so I guess whatever I say for next year will come true. So I have a whole actual vision. Do you know, like, the term, that wasn't on my bingo card? I created a 2025 bingo card. So I think I'm going to read a couple off to you.
I love this.
Yeah, so a fun one is I want to walk the entire length of Manhattan with my friends. I'm still recovering from like the hip surgery I had last year, but I think 17 miles is doable in a day, right?
Probably. I don't know post hip surgery. I'm not a doctor, so I don't even want to answer, honestly. Probably I wouldn't do that after hip surgery, actually.
Fun, I guess. I mean, I think
you're going to crush
it. But it would be a cool.
You're going to crush it.
Yeah. Thank you. Another one is I've been single for a very, very long time, so I'm looking to find a healthy relationship this year.
Love that. Love that.
And then I'm going to just keep going. I want to travel somewhere new. The places on my list are either Texas, London, or Australia. Very different, but I want to try to get to one depending on my health.
Love that.
And then, let's see. Try Prince Street Pizza or Don Antonio Pizza, because I hear they both have great gluten-free pizzas. But it just sucks that it's either going to be $55 or like $35 to get a gluten-free pizza for me to eat. But I guess whatever.
Now, we have had hoagies come up on multiple calls, but I do believe you're the caller. We met and you gave me a hoagie at one point, right?
Oh, yeah. I give you a cheese hoagie, yep.
It was delicious. And it had, I mean, I call them subs in North Jersey. I know that down in Philly. You and I talked all about this, about the sort of nomenclature and the verbiage around it. But I got to say, one of the best things about a sandwich, when you know a sandwich is well made, I ate half of it the night you gave it to me, threw the other half in the fridge, and the way everything solidified and congealed, and when I ate it cold the next day, it was arguably even better. That's the mark of a sandwich that's truly well made. And you put some hot peppers in a little bag, and my wife was like, what are these? And I was like, these are a thing that normally I wouldn't eat, but damn, they're delicious.
I love that you remember that so well.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, exactly.
Thank you for that sandwich. It's a really good memory for me, legitimately.
If I come to another one of your live shows, I will bring you another one.
I would be so thrilled. You don't even know. And I still have a t-shirt that you gave me too.
Yeah, which goes back to it's not a sub, it's a hoagie.
You did, I think, you did give me a shirt that specifically says it's not a sub, it's a hoagie, which I knew in my heart. I'm glad to get verbal verification of this. I knew in my heart that you were giggling at the idea of getting me in North Jersey to wear a shirt that would get people to yell at me. True or false?
Oh, I mean, it's okay. You don't have to. I don't want you to die. Just wear it when you come to Philly. Then you'll be good.
Yeah, then I'll be a hero, a conquering hero. Okay, let's keep it going. Andrea's telling me we only have a few more left in the queue. It's so nice to hear from old callers, to hear from listeners who have lapsed, who have maybe just seen the number out there and decided to give it a call, even though they haven't listened in a few years, let alone people who have only called during New Year's episodes and people totally fresh to the show. Thank you all for calling. We've crossed the 1 hour Rubicon. Andrea's telling me we only have a few left in the queue. So let's go ahead, talk to another caller. Welcome to the New Year's.
Chris.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. I'm calling you from Canada, so I don't know how much of those you get.
Every once in a while.
My New Year's resolution is to finish my book.
Oh, nice.
I've been writing this book since last month, and I'm really excited to just keep working on it. It's my first book. I'm more of a poet.
Love that. Canadian poets, big fans of the show.
And for more bigger resolutions, I want to continue exercising and do better in my studies.
I love all of this. These are very accomplishable, simple, focused goals that will have an actual impact on your life.
I've been watching your show for 2 years now, so I'm kind of new. I'm all watching from the beginning, though, so I'm not caught up to date with all the new stuff.
When you say watching the show, you mean Beautiful Anonymous or
your show?
The old Gethard show?
Beautiful Anonymous.
Nice. Got it. Yeah. There's a few things out there you're going to find out about me along the way. But welcome. I'm glad you got on board, and I'm glad you're catching up on all those old episodes. That's right. It's weird because you must feel like there's a little time machine effect. Like you're listening to some episodes that are 8 years old and you're not sure of anything.
Yeah, like my most recent one that I remember is the nurse. That's from way ago.
And are you listening in order?
Yeah.
So you have no idea. There's been some massive life changes in my life. You have no idea about any of them.
No. And I've actually been looking at all your every time you posted the number on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I've noticed the pattern.
What's that?
So usually on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I keep an extra eye on your Twitter.
Okay. You have some theories on how to game the system, how to hack the system.
But I'm always just slightly too late.
Well, I do love knowing that from your perspective, you are weirdly right now sort of talking to a man from 2018.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear all the stuff that happens, man. Wait till you hear. You're going to love it.
Oh, man.
Do you want any spoilers or no?
No. I want to ride this wave, man. I want to ride it to the very end.
All right. Well, enjoy the many twists and turns that are coming. A lot of really great calls in your future. I
look forward to a full-length episode with me because I'm going to keep trying, man.
I love it. Call up anytime, my Canadian poet friend. All right. That's incredible. Another strange perspective. A few more people in the queue. Let's go ahead. Queue them on up. Welcome to the Beautiful Anonymous 2024 into 2025 New Year's Resolution Spectacular. What's your resolution?
Hi, Chris. My New Year's resolution is to improve my sociability, especially with the new job that I have. And especially now since I started this band and I kind of want to have a better place in the punk indie community in general, and also to, I guess, communicate better with some family overseas in Lebanon and Syria, especially now.
Wow. I mean, I love that. That's very eye-opening to see. You got some personal goals about how you plan on putting yourself out there, shifting some things in that sense, but then literal global goals connected to family on the other side of the world. That's eye-opening.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about for next year.
Absolutely. It's been very hard for me. The amount of news is so overwhelming, specifically in relation to Syria. I actually have a friend who I hold very dear to me, who's a pro wrestler, who's raised a lot of money for Syria. He's Syrian. And I will say things are happening so fast and so overwhelming that even as somebody who tries to read a lot, it's hard for me to even totally understand what's going on in it. It's got to be scary to have family there and be invested in an area where you know, like, oh, the Western world is not even keeping their finger on the pulse of this because it's moving so fast.
It's moving way faster than I expected it to. I knew this was kind of coming, but I mean, just seeing the news about that one bomb that went off in Tartus in Syria that like caused an earthquake. That's near the town where my grandmother lives. I'm pretty sure she's okay, but it's just very jarring to see. Just to wake up one morning and just see that as a headline. It's really strange.
Yeah. And on a fundamental level, are you scared about the fall of a regime and rebels accomplishing that? Does it give you hope that maybe the future is going to stabilize in a way that's positive and ultimately a good thing? Where's your gut at about where things are headed?
I actually have no idea. It's good that the Assad regime fell, but it just seems like everything is up in the air, and it's like, what do you make of it at this moment? It's just really strange. I don't know. I should probably talk to my grandma and see what she makes of it, but
yeah,
it's kind of hard to reach some people.
I can't imagine. And it's, you know what else is so eye-opening for me talking to you? To hear you go, like, first of all, you know, I'm not quoting you here, but to say, like, I want to figure out on a social level, put myself out there a little more. You know, you said a little version of that, and you sit here and you go, but then also to know, like, your grandma's in a place where it's hard to even get in touch with her. And you sit there and you go, those things have an effect on each other. Those things, of course, haven't. There might be a reason. There might be many valid reasons why someone is a little quiet or maybe seems to be living in their head. And it's an eye-opening thing for all of us listening to realize you saying effectively, like, I want to come out of my shell a little bit more and also keep an eye on these things that are having effect on my family from thousands of miles away. You go, oh, right. Have to have compassion when you sense that someone is maybe shy or withdrawn or in their head, however you would phrase it. I can't make any assumptions about 2 minutes to go, oh, right. People are dealing with very real stuff all the time. And it's impossible to know that during your surface level interactions with them.
Yeah. Yeah, like even, you know, as a kid, I wasn't super close with my grandma or grandpa, especially because, you know, their English isn't too strong. But I feel like I could have made more of an effort to try to spend more time with them or communicate with them. But, you know, hindsight's 2020. I'll really try now.
Well, obviously, we're not going to hang up on you mid-sentence, and we've gone longer than 2 minutes, but I just want to say, on a global level, I really send a lot of good feelings and good thoughts towards your family, towards everyone in the many war-torn areas of the world right now. I know it's easy to say, but I will be thinking about you. And then on a personal level, I hope that all your personal goals feel attainable and positive, and I'd love to talk again in the future and just hear how you're doing on both levels, because you're in a really specific place right now, and I'd love to hear more about it and just hear how you're doing.
Thanks, Chris. Hope you have a good rest of the year.
You too. You too. Let's go ahead to our next caller on our New Year's resolution episode here on Beautiful Anonymous. Welcome to the show. What's your resolution?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You're a mysterious, deep-voiced gentleman.
I've been trying to get on this show for a long time.
This is it. 2 minutes to shine, baby.
Well, I've had a wild last decade. I've listened to your show a lot. Really enjoyed it, and then fell off a little bit, but started listening again recently.
Welcome back. I hope it's been enjoyable.
Definitely. It's the last 5 years have been pretty wild. And we're off for a pretty wild next. We made it a quarter of the way through the century. Y2K was a quarter of a century ago.
This is one of the most intriguing calls I've ever received. This is mysterious.
Yeah, there's only 2 minutes to shine, so trying to keep it anonymous and not give too much away as to who I am. But, I think we're in a place where people need to just relax, chill out, calm down, talk to each other in person. People need to go out, find that third space, get out of their shell and talk to each other. Too many people are talking to people behind screens, and they've lost that sense of community and being a part of something.
More in-person interactions, a great goal for all of us. I love that you're out there spreading. You're Johnny Appleseeding the idea of in-person interactions. I think that's a great one.
Well, yeah, it's all about people having a feeling of having a stake in where they are. And
Andrea, with the cutoff at the 2 minute mark. And listen, I'm all about it, and I like setting the tone with a mysterious indication that the past 25 years have been completely insane for you, going back to Y2K. But if that's how you spend the first minute, 10 seconds, then you're probably going to get cut off mid-sentence when it hits 2 minutes, because you're out here messing with the high priestess. I'm being told that we only have one caller left in the queue. I'm going to go ahead and we are well over an hour at this point, hour 15. So we'll go to our final caller in a second. And I just wanted to put out there, for me, I don't love making the show about me. I try to be a very active listener. I'd like to think I've gotten better at that over the years. But I will just say there's a few things I want to say out loud, 3 of them that are very important to me, which is 1, I have loved the first independent year of the show. Andrea and I have also talked a lot about, we don't have a network behind us. We don't have strategists behind us. We're not getting bundled with other shows. The numbers are dropping in a way that's sort of concerning, but nobody's freaking out. But it's like, okay, this is the reality of being an independent show. So I want to go ahead and make a resolution that I'm going to keep working my butt off to make Beautiful Anonymous interesting and good. And we're putting out the magazine. There's fresh thought surrounding the show. The people who are getting vocal about the fact that they're really enjoying the content at beautifulanonymous.com means the world to me, because it's not just a way to kind of build a financial safety net for the show. I also view it as a way to get creative, to allow callers to go in different directions, to allow people to participate in ways they haven't seen. So point being, one of my resolutions is to make sure Beautiful Anonymous stays good and interesting and as vital as we can keep it for an 8-year-old show, going on 9 years now. We're coming up on a decade. I want to hit that decade point where, should anybody come sniffing around and go, whether this is former listeners or this is the show gets pressed for being around for a day, I want to hit that decade where people go, not only is this show still good, but they have kept it a really good and interesting experiment, capturing people's viewpoints. I want to keep it good. It's a huge resolution I have for all of you who support this show. Resolution 2 is I've got to deal with Sony Television to write for them, to try to pitch TV ideas. And I don't usually get cocky. I don't usually say things that might jinx anything, but I'm going to knock on wood right now and say I'm going to sell a TV show through this deal. I'm going to get a show on the air, and it's going to surprise people. And one thing I've been thinking about so much is that you get a lot of notes when you're working in TV of like, how do you make the characters feel real? How do you make things feel empathetic? How do you try to get real people out there who might find this show to connect with the idea that these characters are humans? And I sit here and I go, I have had a near decade-long crash course in hearing how real people think, how real people speak, how the rhythm of real conversations work, the things that concern people when they're just lost alone in their own thoughts. So thank you to the Beautiful Anonymous community, because I'm fairly certain I'm going to work my butt off. I mean, I know I'm going to work my butt off. And I just have a feeling that I'm going to sell a show and it's going to surprise people. And I want to make it happen. So I'm resolving to work to the last drop of energy I have to make that happen, because it would be a beautiful thing. And then my final resolution is that a lot of you have heard that Laughing Together is a nonprofit initiative I started with my friends at Wellness Together to send comedy into schools. I have been out there teaching in schools. I haven't taught that much about this on the show, but I get out there and I've taught in schools where there's massive percentages of the students that face food insecurity in major U.S. cities, in places where people should not be facing food insecurity. I've also taught at private schools where the students there have so many advantages because their families can afford to go there. I've seen a broad and wide spectrum. I've taught for groups as small as 15 people and groups as large as 500. And I really feel like this program has so much value, and I want to see it explode and spread into schools all over the place, because we are all hands on deck right now as far as what schools need, and artists are so ready to help. I feel like I've helped build an infrastructure where artists can really help in a very hands-on grassroots way. So I want to see that program explode. So I think you all have heard, and I don't mean to get weirdly emotional in a way that's unearned. I think a lot of people have maybe heard that Beautiful Anonymous has been my bedrock the past few years. In the beginning, I had so many things going on, TV show, HBO special, this and that, writing books, and it was cool. But I always knew the pendulum swings. And I think a lot of you have heard that in recent years, I have not felt at my most confident. But I can tell you the last 4 or 5 months of 2024, I'm seeing a real clear pathway towards some things that is inspiring my confidence and my excitement again. And I want to go make those things happen. And I want to make everybody who listens to Beautiful Anonymous proud. And I want you all to know that you've been a big part of showing me how life works, how people think, and to see the value in prioritizing, trying to connect with other people, trying to help, trying to get past being young and wanting to go on adventures and find glory for yourself, and instead trying to improve the communities around you. And I feel like I have been lucky enough to fall into some situations where I can do that from a few different directions. And like I said, this nonprofit program, I think, is so actively doing that on a hands-on way, trying to improve the communities around me. I think I have a TV show idea right now that can show off some things about people and about culture that could legitimately help. And I'm going to fight so hard to make those things happen. And I'm going to fight so hard to make Beautiful Anonymous healthy, thriving, and good. If the numbers are smaller than they used to be, but the people who are still with us and the people finding us feel like it's a thriving experiment that still has high value, then I will happily do it for as long as you all want it. And those are the things that I can say very genuinely come from a place of real motivation. And my guess is that a lot of the people who listen every week go, I haven't seen Chris actually look that driven or confident or sound that driven or confident in a few years. I've heard him happy, but I have not heard him confident. The confidence is coming back, and I want to utilize that confidence towards some things that have a very positive effect. Those are my New Year's resolutions. That being said, I think we do have a call in the queue. Let's go ahead. I'm going to queue up 2 minutes. Hello? Welcome to the show. To whom am I speaking?
My New Year's resolution is to keep these hands moist.
You're still in the CVS.
It's me again.
The diaper guy, but still in the CVS.
That's right.
Still looking at lotions?
That's right. I'm back. I just put some on, some Gold Bond. It's wonderful.
You put it on
How's that
at the
for sticking
CVS?
the landing? I'm in my car on my way home now.
So we've just been able to track your day.
Yeah, that's right. And I have to say, this is redemption personally for me, because I forgot to let you know that I was your last caller for the one-night redemption of a revival of the Chris Gethard show, and I got disconnected. I was the last one. I know I left you hanging there.
Yeah, that's fair. So you've now talked to me 7 times on this show. You've also called the Gethard show. You and I just...
Yes.
And you were also connected to New Jersey as the world. Like, you and I now are just, I guess, just friends.
That's right, man.
I guess we're just friends.
Yeah, dude. Hey, and I got to say, my wedding is actually real close to your neck of the woods. If you want to stop by in October next year on a Friday that the day is going to be, get yourself a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese late at night. It's, it's yours for the taking.
I like that you've now followed enough of my stuff that you're able to generally geolocate the areas of New Jersey I hang out in.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah. One of my closest friends is from your neck of the woods.
I love it so much. Andrea wants to know if she's invited.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? The high priestess getting me on the show this many times? You get 2 Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
She'll be mad if you call it Taylor ham. You got to call it pork roll when Andrea's there.
Sorry, pork roll. Pork roll. But yeah, okay.
Your eye roll. It's an amazing way. We've now learned, everybody, for next year. Keep in mind, we've now learned, and I'm not saying to open the floodgates on this, but we've now learned that apparently if you just keep calling the New Year's show, you can get on 3 times in one
3 show. That's right. Repeat.
Solid 3.
That's right. Guys, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. I love this show. I love everything you do, man.
Thank you so much. I love that the wedding's coming up in October. Obviously, keep me updated. It's hilarious to me that I went on a very heartfelt moment of saying, like, I feel like I have found my confidence again in a way I haven't felt in a little while. And you've probably heard, you've been listening to everything. You've probably heard that.
Yeah, man.
That it's come and gone. And then I'm sitting here going like,
absolutely.
No. I think the pendulum might be swinging back in old Geth's direction. And it's time to make some moves into my adult life. And then you get on and start ranting about moisturizer. That really feels on brand for me.
Perfect. And I got to say, I would hear you talk about you considering quitting comedy and over the past couple of years, and I just was I was out at every show I could. I'm like, dude, you're still killing it, man, and I'm so happy to hear you got this new show that you're pitching and all the rest of your success.
Well, thanks.
So you still got your loyal fans, buddy.
Thank you so much. There's less of them than there used to be, but that's just the way of the world. But I got to say, I know that feeling of and going out to a live show. And it's weird to do Beautiful Anonymous where I talk so frankly and we have all these conversations and other things I do and have people come up to me and go like, dude, you're still making good stuff. Keep your chin up. Like, people are really sensing where I was at. And I sit there, I go, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to milk it in any way. I'm just saying, like, I've had actual conversations with people where I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just keep trying to crank some creative stuff out because it's not about me, and people are telling me it still connects with them. And then felt like I pushed through a lot of feelings of self-doubt for a while there, and I'm starting to just feel a path again. I'm starting to feel a path again that makes sense for a guy like me. And thank you for being one of those people giving me the pep talks to keep my chin up, because nobody out here is ever going to think that I'm like pretending to be more confident than I'm not. So though they have an effect, those moments where people like you step up and go like, hey man, this actually it's working for me. Keep it going. I go, okay, all right. I'll trust you more than I trust myself right now. So thank you for that. Really, really has helped.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have a great New Year, man.
You too. And that is that, everybody. Once you hear it for the 3rd time from a past caller who has explained an adult diaper kink to you, this is when you go, 2025 is going to be a strange year, as I think we've all heard. It's going to be a year where none of us are certain exactly how it's going to go. That's part of life, but there's a lot of people worried in particular with a lot of societal changes coming this year. But I also feel positive knowing there's so many people out there looking to firm up their footing, looking to connect with relatives in war-torn parts of the globe, looking to enjoy the new homes they've purchased, looking to embrace more of who they are, live a more truthful life. What a beautiful thing. As always, these New Year's episodes remind me how lucky I am to be a part of this. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm knocking on wood. This is going to be a big year for Beautiful Anonymous as well. Obviously, thanks to so many people, including all the people who have supported our new independent version of the show. And also have to say, and I'm going to get an eye roll so hard for saying it, so I'll keep it brief, but do have to say that the way that the High Priestess, Andrea Quinn, stepped into this year of complete chaotic change for Beautiful Anonymous and just grabbed the ball, ran with it, kept the show not just afloat, but moving at the pace it's always moved at the level it's always moved at, and also getting callers into the queue that I think really reflect, I think you can hear like a subtle dedication to some chaos, to some unpredictability, to some let's just see where things want to go in a way that I've really loved. Thank you, Andrea, in particular, for keeping the show alive, although Andrea's already on my computer screen threatening to edit out any kind words said about her. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy 2025. Let's stick together. Let's keep our heads in the game. Let's try to make some cool things happen. Thanks for being a part of Beautiful Anonymous. Thank you again to everybody who calls Beautiful Anonymous, who supports Beautiful Anonymous. You're all such a huge part of it. Thank you to Andrea Quinn for your production, the High Priestess who helps run this show. Thank you to Shellshag for the iconic music that's helped define what this show is. punchup.live/Chris Gethard. Especially, I'm doing a new show in New York called That Show, hosted by Chris Gethard. It's going to be a variety show. It's been selling out early. Go buy tickets. Support it. It's going to be great. It's going to be a really good time. Our voicemail line is 973-306-4676. We're on Instagram at Beautiful Anonymous Pod. The Facebook group is at Beautiful Anonymous, the community. Thanks so much for listening, everybody.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes per details.